This is the continuation of I'll be insane before I finish dinner. Talking. Pointless. Try forming words when it takes months to move your lips. Who could keep a thought alive for so long? We communicate in flickers, eyes shifting, and a fraction, a twitch of a finger. But you can only say so much with a stare. Those outside alone, they've gone mad, lost in empty streets, drifting through the world that won't move. The ones trapped in darkness, in the dead of night. God help them. And what of those who slept when it began? Maybe they were the lucky ones, or maybe they're still dreaming, wandering nightmares that stretch on forever. My son, he was late to the table. He was upstairs in his room, trapped alone in eternity, with no one to call out to, no one to hear him. I'm scared in my mind. I scream in my mind. No one hears, no one moves. So such time to think, so much time to be trapped, used to think life passed too fast. Now it'll last forever. I'll be insane before I finish. Tea. Intern. Restaurant. At night. Two people, a man and a woman, are sitting at a table in a restaurant. They're talking adamantly and laughing, clearly having a good time. The man is wearing glasses. Okay. You do one. Okay. Well, Rachel pauses for a moment, thinking, twirling her hair in her finger. I'm not sure. Come on. You must have one. Well, I used to think that factories, the smokestacks, made clouds. Everyone thought that. I can't think of anything else. Sorry, I was a smarter kid than you. Teasing. Yeah. There was a pause in the conversation. Clearly, they both
contentedly
look at each other. After a few seconds, Simon takes his glasses and places them on the table. The actor for Rachel freezes. She doesn't move, and doesn't move. The lightning should become more monotone. blacks and grays as Simon stands and faces the audience. Simon. She really reminds me of her. The smile, those eyes, the twirl of the hair. She even sits in the same way. The weather is the same as it was, and I've managed to get the same table. It's perfect.
Simon looks at Rachel. Rachel.
She's perfect.
Car. Night. The two sit in the car.
This can be
represent.
This could be represented with just two chairs and or even a set piece. Simon is driving and Rachel steers out the window. The silence is comfortable. Simon is wearing his glasses.
Why that restaurant?
What do you mean?
Well, everyone has a reason. I like to take my dates up the mountain. There's a nice spot up there. You can watch the city play out below you. It's quiet, private, romantic.
Why didn't we go there this time? Grinning.
That was the plan for next time.
Grinning back. There's a pause. Simon. I always bring my dates there. I've got not reason over then, other than I like it. Simon pulls the car to a stop at the side of the road.
Why'd we stop?
I saw this on the way home. I just got a photo in my mind.
No, of course not.
Thanks. Street. Night. They get out and Simon pulls out his phone and takes a photo. It would be best just for immersions if there could be a streetlight prop here, a London style one, like Narnell. He spends a moment looking at the photo. That's not right.
What's wrong?
It's missing something. That's it. Could you be my model?
Rachel is taken aback. Yeah, okay.
She stands below the light with her hands behind her back. Lights change, and Simon takes his glasses off. The lights are more light pinks. He turns his face to the audience again. I take them all here. Take the photo at the same time. That night, we argued. The day before,
I, s- I suppose the photo. It was us trying to act normal. Like nothing was wrong. I still have that photo. I still have them all hung up on my wall. I suppose it's like my trophy.
Flat night. They sat they sat on a small sofa. It can just be a chair. Shoulders together. Rachel holding a remote and scrolling through the streaming service. She con-
Concentrate.
she concentrated hard.
What do you watch? What do you want? What to watch? I don't know.
He gets up.
I'll make tea.
He walks out of the room, not sure how to show up on this stage. Takes off glasses, and Rachel freezes. Lights go red as he speaks. He goes through a production of making tea. Process of making tea with his hands.
I'm itching. It's hard to keep still. I'm always, I always get twitchy at this part. I guess it's extreme. It's exterminable. I remember the first time. It's imprinted in my mind, like a movie I've watched a million times. I suppose it's because I've relived it so much. I remember leaving to make tea. I remember seeing the pills, crushing them, preparing them in. I remember her rigidly falling on the floor. That's always the hardest bit to get right. They never sand it stand in the quite right spot. Never fall quite how I want. Never bite their lip like she did. The blood webbing down her chin. I can cut it with a knife or something. But it's not the same. The squeeze is always best. It's always just as good as the last. I don't know what this combination of drugs does. What it does, but it does. The eyes live, but the body is rigid. You can see the panic in their finger. You can see the panic in your fingers as your fingers close around their neck. Then the squeeze. It makes me giddy. The help
the helplessness. They can't even claw at my hands, can't even struggle, but they feel every minute. I love the...
Hey, Simon. What's with those photos? What's with these photos?
When she speaks, the light returns to normal, and Simon stops his monologue. He grins. I'll tell you in a second, Ray. I'm just finishing the tea. He mimes.
Mime.
He mimes pouring something in and walking back to the room with Rachel. He doesn't pick up his glasses. Closed. Constraints closed. 66 days before Part 1. On March 20th, 2024, Martin Hill murdered his neighbor, Robert Gray. He walked out of Mr. Gray's home nude with a pentagram drawn on his bare chest, in blood, and Mr. Gray's small intestines tend around Mr. Hill's neck like a noose. He carried a rib taken from Mr. Gray's chest, and it would later be determined that Mr. Hill had eaten some of Mr. Gray's heart. The reason for the attack is unknown. Mr. Hill was taken quickly into custody and died from sudden heart failure. In his cell, there are the entires for Mr. Hill's journal, 66 days before the murder. I post these in case anyone is making if anyone's making the mistake of mentoring either men. January 13th, 2024. Emma and I have moved in. Still a lot of unpacking to do. And to be honest, I think Emma is a little depressed, disappointed with the completely drawing my savings. And it's not like Emma. Emma is a little bit disappointed with the place, but just trying to hide it. It's the best I could afford without completely draining my savings. And it's not like Emma is in any street to work at 7 months pregnant. So strange. It's so strange seeing such a pretty little body with such a big bump. She looks like she's trying to smugly smuggle a watermelon under her insecure. When we were unpacking her clothes earlier, she pulled out her old cheerleading outfit. Why'd you bring that?
I don't know. Just for memories, I guess.
She shrugged, tracing the emblem on the top. I placed my hand on her stomach, then kissed her. Hey. When that little lady's out of there, you'll fit right back into it. I told her, a hand on her cheek.
You think so?
Of course. And I'm looking forward to seeing you slip back into it. I winked. She smiled, then went back to unpacking before exploring the neighborhood. It seemed quiet. Maybe more people would be out if it wasn't 28 degrees. But the only person we saw was an older guy shoveling his driveway. He had a white gray hat. This white gray hat that reached just below his ear, and wore these small rectangular glasses. He seemed like a bookish guy, wearing a thick being cartridge and sported rough salt and pepper stubs. He paused his shoveling when he saw us. His eyes kept darting to Emma's swollen belly. Hey there. We're the new neighbors at 2169. I'm Martin, and this is Emma, I said. He cleared his throat griefly. I'm Rob, he said. The awkward silence hung in the chilly air until Emma spoke.
Have you lived in this neighborhood long?
She asked. He cleared his throat again, his big, pale blue eyes examining Emma and me like he was figuring something out. You know there aren't any schools anywhere, any schools close to here, right? He asked, licking his lips. I pulled Emma in to a half hug beside me. Yeah. You know we've got some years before she'll start school, so we've got some time to figure that out, I said with an uncomfortable smile. I kept Emma. He kept staring at Emma. I mean, she's a cute little thing, but It was like he was trying to saw her in half just by looking at her.
Young wombs are thick as fleck,
he said suddenly and strictly. Emma gasped, taken aback by the weight of the statement. She looked at me for action. Watch your fucking watch your fucking mouth, I warned him. He shook his head. I'm not sure at what, and headed back inside his garage, closing the door behind him. Emma and I walked back in a stunned silence, opting to not meet any of the other neighbors. When we got back to our house, Emma spoke for the first time.
The 9 is upside down,
she said. What? I replied. She meant the 9. Our house, our 2169 house number had lost the top 9 that kept it upright. So only the bottom remained, making the 9 hang as a 6 instead.
Can you fix it? Can you fix it? They might mix your mail up with the creepy guys,
she said, and I realized she was right. Rob's house was 2166. I patted her head. Yeah, I'll get it. I'll get on it. Let's get you inside and out of the cold first. We went inside, and I tried to cheer Emma up with hot cocoa and some foot rubs. But I think that weirdo's cryptic words really got to her. She was fussy with her swollen belly, particularly every second. We opted to go to bed early tonight, since we needed to try to get the good majority of unpacking done tomorrow, since Monday I'd be starting my new job. As I pulled the blinds closed with Emma tucked in the bed, I noticed someone who seemed to be looking at us, and I didn't tell Emma because I think she would have freaked out. And I'm honestly probably giving it too much attention altogether. There's this sad little park across from our home. It's got like one rusty jungle gym and one of those metal slides that burn your ass when you go down in the summer. There's a light in the park, which is the only reason I could see this figure in the snowy dark. I think it was a woman dressed in some kind of big dark cloak, and she had this long black hair that covered most of her face. She was looking at Alright, so if you guys enjoyed this video, please do subscribe, like, comment down below which one's coming next. If you guys are new here or you keep on finding yourself coming back, please do go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And today, probably after this video goes live, I will be live over here on YouTube. So yeah, post